We back, we back. It's your boy Burly, that's right. I let them swing them hammers around every now and then to keep that looseness. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep that looseness. So you're throwing them things. Going straight in. No pullback. No pullback on these punches. We're going straight in. Straight up. None of this. We go down for that lead uppercut. Go up. Real uppercut. We'll turn right over. It's your boy, we back. You see the title. Why is fight defense not respected? Why don't they respect fight defense, man? Every other place defense is respected, but not in the fight world. We gotta talk about it. That's right. We said we cranking out more lives. We're gonna see you get on the line. You jump on this live with me. Who's live with Lyte Burly? Uppercut right there. You want to pull your head back out the gap. You know what I'm saying? You may be right here, pull back just a little bit. Sneak that joint right down the middle. That's right. Already having that head movement. Pull it back, shoot it. Get your head out the gap while you throw that whistle. Turn them things over, people. Who rocking with your boy? Smash that like button. That's right. We're gonna let it go a little longer. I know YouTube be playing with the notifications. Don't be getting my notifications out like they're supposed to. But we're gonna talk about it. Turn the punches over. Turn. Everything got that turn. See that turn? That's that whip. Bang, 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 bang. Turning on it. Turning the fist. Ha. Sean Rollins, what does bum rush mean in 52 blocks? Usually, that's more of like a, an offensive rush, kind of to what the name is that you're closing the gap. So you may be out here somewhere, your opponent right here, and then you go into that bum rush, you move in close, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like rushing in. It's almost just like rushing in. You can rush in behind your blocks, rush in off of your aggression, rush in after a hand feint. You may throw a hand feint and rush in. So the bum rush is pretty much moving forward quickly, closing the gap as fast as you can. 4 people in the chat. We're gonna let it build up a little bit more. Talk about why fight defense is not respected. Why is fight defense not respected, people? Defense respected everywhere else but in the fight. Why is that? We gotta talk about it. Mary Jane and Coffee's coming back too. Don't think that I forgot about my Mary Jane and Coffee people. Coming back. Just getting some of my little roly rolls together. That's all. Where we at? Okay, we have 5 minutes almost. People who don't get a chance to jump on this live may just have to see it later on. So we're going to talk about why is fight defense not respected. Now, in every other sport, even though fighting is the only sport you don't play, you don't play boxing, you don't play MMA. Salute, appreciate you, warrior. You don't play MMA. Those are sports you don't play. You go in there and you fight. That's gladiator stuff. But you look at basketball. Defense is big. People love to see someone slap their shot back to the bleachers. Get it out of here. Matumbo style. Not in my house. Not in my house. People love defense. in every other place, even in football, defense. People love defense. You can hear the crowd start chanting, "Let's go defense, let's go." But you never hear "Let's go defense" at a fight. You know, when your favorite fighter is getting his face jabbed off, or he eating a whole lot of right hands and left hooks, eating a whole lot of punches, you never hear the crowd break out into a "Let's go defense, let's go." And why is that? Because primal, even though it's like I said, boxing is a sport, MMA can be considered sports, but they're not sports that you play. Primal, when watching the fight, we're looking for other things than in the basketball game. In the fight, most people in the crowd are looking for both of you to be injured, bloody, beaten into a pole, still swinging. That's what the crowd wants, and you can't go against it. You know what I'm saying? That's why fighters that are high tech, whole lot of defense, they won't be respected. They'll be looked over because defense in the fight, in our primal state, defense in the fight is not what we want to see. We want to see two men eating punches, eating kicks, being hit over the head, blood spurting. They still fighting, and maybe they fight to the death. That's still in this too. You know, so they may want to see y'all both go into the great beyond, fight from here to the great beyond. That's what they could be waiting for. So the defense in the fight is not going to be respected because people don't want to see you out there loving yourself, self-preservation, dipping shots, ducking shots. That's not what they came to see. They came to see two men kill each other, no matter what the sport is, MMA, boxing, bare knuckle. Most people are there to watch somebody either catch a body or both men leave as a body. Both men leave in a bag, or one man catches a body. So if you use a defense, that gets in the way of that feeling. So when they see defensive fighters, they don't want to engage in a defensive fighter or put money behind or put their energy behind a defensive fighter because he's trying to move out the way. Playing the game of I'm gonna stand there and eat shots. Audio 100. Yeah, they want the slugfest. They want the rock and believe me, the slugfest, the hard fighters like who's a good hard fighter that passed away? Mayweather beat him. It was Mayweather's masterpiece. Audio 100 would it be? I can't think it was Gotti. This is people why Arturo Gotti. This is why people loved Arturo Gotti. Because he went in there and gave blood and guts. You know, he left his face in the ring, left his blood in the ring, sweat in the ring. People love fighters like that. You know what I'm saying? Emmanuel Augustus, Emmanuel Augustus had that drunk style. But Arturo Gotti, he had that blood and guts style. He had that style of go in there, forget defense. I came to slug, you hit me, I hit you, and the better man wins. And a fight is still a fight. So we're not knocking that style. I'm not someone who agrees with that style, but I'm definitely not knocking the style because the style works. There are a lot of great brawlers that became champions. One of my favorite brawlers is my man. See, I'm forgetting too many fighters now, man. Must be the old age or something. I'm forgetting all my fighters. The Raging Bull, Jake LaMotta. Now, Jake LaMotta was definitely a brawler. Rocky Graziano, another brawler. Some people even put Marciano. You know, Marciano was definitely a brawler, but he had science too. Marciano was trying to set you up. You know what I'm saying? He had that punch to Susan Q. He sit down, see, Marciano sit all the way down right here, you know, and jab his way in while he's sitting on that right hand. Marciano used to sit on that right hand. And when he pitched it, he threw everything. That's why he had all the knockouts, you know what I'm saying? Marciano. So he wasn't just but when it came time to exchange punches, Marciano was with that too. He wasn't scared to throw no punches, but he was more like a brawler puncher, you know. He wasn't really like the full lock-in brawler. what's the name was a good brawler. My African homie, he fought not Mayweather, he fought the black magician, Pernell Whitaker, Azuma Nelson, another good brawler. Joe Frazier, you could consider Joe Frazier a little bit of a brawler, but he was more like a puncher. He had that big left hook. That big left hook was a problem. But Azuma Nelson, but like I said, there's nothing wrong with the style. I have nothing against the brawlers. I've watched them. George Foreman, he was almost a brawler slash, boxer. And boxing meaning he had all of the structure. He was like a textbook boxer, kept his hands up, worked behind the jab, threw the right hand, big power. But that fight with him and Ron Lyle, I think it was George Foreman and Ron Lyle, yeah, that was a brawling situation right there. Mr. Next, I can get with you on that one. I think it was when George Foreman fought Ron Lyle, that was a brawling situation. I think they both knocked each other down like 7 times. It was ridiculous. That was a crazy fight right there. So you gotta know your old school fights. I know you want to keep up with your Gervonta Davises, and your Earl Spence, Terrence Crawfords, Teofinos, Core Stevensons, Cool Boy Stephs. In a way, all of these are monsters. Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to leave one of the dope boys, the Charlo brothers, Benavidez, Bivol, you want to know all of those fighters too if you follow boxing. But you also want to know the past. You know what I'm saying? You want to know about your Sugar Ray Robinsons, your Joe Gans, Peter Jacksons, Tar Baby. Who else we got back there? We got so many. Your Marvin Haglers, and on and on. Your Salvador Sanchez. You want to know about all of those dudes there too. You want to know about that beginning of the game, but you want to know something about the back. You want to know something about the back end, which brought it here. So you got to know some of those fighters back in the past. Armstrong, that's right. Oh yeah, you naming some names. Name the names. You know what I'm saying? People don't even know what Hurricane Hank did. When he was getting overshadowed by Joe Louis. You know what Armstrong had to do? He had to go win belts in 3 different weight classes. He went to lightweight. He went back. He went up to he went up to welterweight, back down to lightweight, shot up to middleweight, beating people up all along the way. Like he was just bouncing through weight classes, beating people up, taking their belts. That's how he figured he had to get his name, because Joe Louis was the man back then. You know what I'm saying? Joe Louis was the truth. So how you gonna live around someone like Joe Louis? You gotta do something spectacular. That's what Armstrong did. But like I said, these are like I said, take nothing away from the brawler styles. Defense is a mandatory, people, and especially when you're thinking about trying to use your fight in a real-time situation. When you're in a real-time situation, brawling may not be the best thing for you. You know what I'm saying? You may have to brawl out, though. You may have to go punch for punch. But even when you go and punch for punch, you got defense in your mind. So you may throw a punch, catch one, slip one, punch, block one, throw back a punch. You got to be defensively responsible, because when you go and bone on skin, it's going to be different. No gloves on. You're going to get your whole self rearranged. Your mama not going to know who you are. Defense is mandatory in a real situation, because defense can end up to you having to break free and jet off. Ain't going to be no Bruce Lee's fighting 10 people. You know what I'm saying? You may have to block a shot, slip a shot, and then get into your running posture, get into your running man. You know what I'm saying? People don't talk about that side of martial arts. The running man martial arts. It's real, people. I'm here to tell you. Running man martial arts is real. Because if you think you're going to sit around and have you a good old-fashioned MGM movie where you just fight 10 people, it's not going to even happen like that. Not going to even happen like that. Even with the best of your skill, even with the best of your skills, majority rules. Majority rules. 1 against 10, you could be as skilled as they come. Majority rules. Now there are some situations where you may be able to do a little something. Maybe the 10 people facing you are severely novices. They don't know what they're doing. You know, you may actually be able to pull something off. But even then, it's going to be something like you ain't never experienced before. Hand claps. Hand claps. I'm not too sure about that one. That may be something Sensei Mo does. I wouldn't know how to break down the hand claps, but there is sound distraction in 52. You know what I'm saying? When you got the, you know, you create that sound to get his attention to steal off a punch. You know, and so there is sound distraction in 52. You gotta remember, 52 is a defensive art. That's what I'm talking about. Defense is necessary, people. Defense is necessary in these fights. The most thing I see on a lot of fights, especially you see these World Star fights or these street fights, there is no attention to defense. Every now and then you see somebody, you know, they may be trying to bob and weave, but they're doing it wrong. There's more attention on hitting and hurting the person in front of you, and I get the sentiment. I understand. You got this man in front of you, you want to hurt him. Salute. You know, you want to hurt him. I get it. I understand the sentiment. But you going home with the least amount of damage should be the highest priority in the fight. That should be the highest priority in the fight. Even you look at the U.S. military. The U.S. military is moving forward. They trying to fight a war without losing a man. You know, back in the days when they had to lose hundreds of thousands of men had to die for a war. Look at war now, it's changing. You know what I'm saying? They trying to fight a war, send in robots. You know, make sure nobody dies. So that becomes the smarter way to do battle. So it's the same way with fist fighting. You want to go out there and fight, but you want to take in as least amount of damage as possible. You don't want the victory to cost you your eye, but your eye is over here somewhere. He done banged on you and put your eye on the side of your head somewhere. You don't want that. Even if you lose the fight, you may not even be the victorious one. You may not even be the one that wins, but you still want to have your defense that you walk out of there with the least amount of damage. Now, meaning you ain't going to get no damage, because if you're going to fight, there's going to be some damage. If you already chose to fight, you've already accepted the fact that, you know, you're going to take in some damage. But if you have your defense, you're taking the least amount of damage. And that's going to take you places you ain't never been in fighting, because now your confidence grows more. Yeah, your confidence, there's a lot of confidence for knocking people out. You start to gain a lot of confidence for knocking people out until you run into the right one. See, offense always hits that right pitch, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love Deontay Wilder to death, but when he faced Tyson Fury, a man that had some defense moving around, changed the whole game. Well, every man before him didn't know how to get out the way, so they had to eat the right-hand bomb and go sleep, you know. So that's the thing with offense. You eventually run into that person that you can't knock out. See, but defense, that's forever, ever. That's forever, ever. You ain't going to never meet a fighter and say, damn, I'm glad I ain't have no defense. There's never going to be a fight where you're going to have to say that. You know? So, when you talking about defense is forever, ever. Defense is something that you can use no matter what the situation is. Sorry about that. think I must have took a shot. I feel like there's a little cut there. Somebody took a shot sparring. Somebody give me a little split lip. Feeling a little something. But yeah, so, you know what I'm saying? Defense is forever. You ain't got to never worry about not having your defense. Your defense will go into you and go into the battle with you, go into the war with you. It don't even matter what it is. Your defense is never going to not be needed. You know, but your offense sometimes isn't needed. Sometimes you don't need to kill an offense for everybody. You ain't got to try to knock everybody into the grave. Some people you can put on kid gloves with. And when you got your defense, you can do that. You can serve more mercy with defense than you can with offense. See, when you got defense, you can definitely serve mercy. When your offense is on, it's on. You know, you chopping heads off. You know what I'm saying? Survival is going to be up to him because that weapon is gone. You let the missiles go. But with your defense and being more selective of when you lay your missiles and who you hit, when you hit, what you hit, can change the whole dynamic. How we do birds and butterfly blocks. I'm not too sure about the birds and butterfly. I think that's more like a Sensei Mo. Sensei Mo, who does 52, he does a lot more of the, I think it's like flipping birds. I think I ever heard of the butterfly blocks with Sensei Mo. Over here, around these parts, we got like Skull and Bones, Rob the Bank, book reading stands, revolving door, the shield, high shield, step ladder, high gate, low gate, major look, jig smack, rack attack. We got names like that. Jig smack, rack attack, high gates, crown, shield, uptown, triangle trade, you know, we got things like that. And our blocks are more situational to what type of punch you're facing. So you don't want to just use any blocks for any punch. You want to know what type of punch it is first. So before you bust out with the blocks, you got to feel out what he's doing. Then you see like, oh, he throwing a lot of hooks. You know, he like to throw hooks. Bang. So now you got that closed door. You know, you feel it. Bang. You catching them joints. You know what I'm saying? He like to throw hooks. He may want to throw overhands. So you kind of feel out your striker to see what blocks you actually need to go against him. You know, you don't want to just be moving in front of him without no purpose. You want to have a purpose. You want to see what he's doing and match it with your blocks. So, like I said, I just wanted to jump on here real fast because we're going to keep our lives constant and going. I want to thank everybody who stopped doing the chat and here to talking. We will be back tomorrow. Burly goes live. We talk more fights.